Hey gamers! If you are a fan of action games, then you've come to the right place. In this video, I will show you best hack-and-slash games of all-time 2024 edition that you should play. Some of you might disagree with the ranking, but that's okay. All I know, this game is a good game. Make sure you're in the comfortable position before we go into the list. Alright then, without further ado, let's get started. Like a Dragon, Ishin is a thrilling video game that takes players back in time to 1800s Japan. It's part of the popular Yakuza series, but stands on its own, making it perfect for both longtime fans and newcomers. You play as a legendary samurai named Sakamoto Ryoma, who's on a mission to solve his father's murder. But here's the twist. You're not just swinging swords and shooting guns. You're also farming radishes, betting on chicken races, and even opening a ramen stand. It's this wild mix of serious drama and silly fun that makes the game so captivating. Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin is a mix of remake and new chapter of the original Final Fantasy from 1987. It's streamlined, focusing heavily on combat and less on the traditional RPG elements. It's fun to play because of its varied combat mechanics, but the story is confusing. Combat is the highlight of the game. It's fast and intense. You have normal attacks and action abilities, which you can mix and match for powerful combos and special moves. You can switch between jobs, each with unique weapons, and move at a time and switch between them during fights. This flexibility lets you adapt to different situations, making this game as fun and interesting. Scarlet Nexus is an action RPG hack-and-slash game, set in a brainpunk world where the brain is central to everything. It's packed with drama, plot twists, and a strong narrative. In this game, you can choose between two main characters, Yuto Sumeragi and Kasane Randall. Yuto is a swordsman with psychokinesis powers, and Kasane is a distant fighter who uses throwing knives and similar psychic abilities. The game combines fast-paced hack-and-slash combat with psychokinesis, letting you throw objects at enemies and create powerful combos. To fully understand the story, you need to play through the game as both Yuto and Kasane, that offering a unique perspective each time.
I need you, Gemma! Thanks, Tsunabi! Need some help, Luca?
Stellar Blade is an action-adventure game set in a post-apocalyptic Earth where humanity has fled to a space colony. You play as Eva, member of the 7th Airborne Squad, sent to the surface to eliminate the Natiba, terrifying monsters that now inhabit Earth. Stellar Blade's combat is its strongest suit, drawing inspiration from Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. The combat is defense-driven, that requiring precise parrying to break enemy balance and deliver powerful blows. The variety of enemies and intense boss fights keep the combat exciting throughout the 30-hour adventure. Final Fantasy XVI feels like Game of Thrones meets Final Fantasy with a dark political story. The game follows Clive Rosefield, a noble-born soldier seeking vengeance and a better world for magic-wielding bearers. The combat, designed to be like Devil May Cry's, is fast, fluid, and highly engaging, rewarding skillful play. Clive's use of icon abilities adds depth to battles, while occasional transformations into Ifrit provide epic, kaiju-style fights. While the story and characters are standout features, some main quests and boss fights feel overly long. The game's narrative, driven by strong performances, keeps players invested throughout its lengthy campaign. Soulstice is a stylish hack-and-slash adventure where you control two sisters, Lute and Briar, in a world full of dynamic combat and striking visuals. You'll explore a besieged fortress with occasional challenges and upgrades that enhance gameplay. With Lute's abilities and upgrades are more engaging than Briar's, who feels less responsive despite various weapon options. This dynamic duo system adds depth and strategy, encouraging players to utilize different tactics to overcome challenges and build impressive combos. Soulstice narrative and character development receive praise for their depth and thematic exploration, touching on topics like toxic relationships within a fantasy setting. Granblue Fantasy Relink presents itself as a vibrant and stylish JRPG deeply immersed in its own sense of coolness. The game's combat system is its standout feature. Players can switch between various crew members, filled with special moves and cooperative chain attacks that require strategic timing and coordination. It features a complex yet rewarding system where mastering link attacks and skybound arts is crucial. These mechanics allow for chaining powerful combo attacks and unleashing devastating special moves, adding layers of strategy amid the chaotic, visually explosive battles. Beyond combat, players can enhance their characters through masteries, which resemble Final Fantasy's Sphere Grid, and by crafting and upgrading weapons with rare materials found during exploration. YSX Nordics, the latest entry in Falcom's long-running action RPG series, offers a refreshing hack-and-slash adventure that both series veterans and newcomers can enjoy. The game's story starts slow but picks up pace, becoming increasingly engaging as it progresses. Combat remains fast-paced and fluid, though the new mechanics might take some getting used to. The addition of ship battles adds variety, even if they can feel a bit clunky at first. The game's difficulty feels well-balanced on normal mode, encouraging players to use defensive techniques without feeling overly punishing. The addition of side quests and optional content, such as fishing and treasure hunting, adds depth to the world and encourages thorough exploration. For Honor is a third-person action game that features a deep and complex combat system. The game's Art of Battle system allows players to change their guard and attack from different directions, creating a strategically complex fighting game experience. There are 12 heroes across 3 factions, each with their own unique abilities and playstyles. For Honor's multiplayer modes are the game's strongest aspect, with 1 vs 1 duel and 2 vs 2 brawl modes offering the best showcase for the game's combat. The game's economy is frugal, but honest, allowing players to earn all content through grinding. The game's single-player campaign is short but satisfying, with scripted moments and boss fights providing the highlights. Astral Chain is a top-notch action game from Platinum Games, known for its stylish combat. Set in a futuristic world, where players working for Nioh, a special police force tasked with combating otherworldly creatures known as chimeras. The combat system is the star of the show, blending hack-and-slash action with strategic legion control. Players can position their legion to flank enemies, wrap them up in the chain, or augment their abilities with various skills and power-ups. While it can be button-mashy at times, there's enough depth to keep encounters engaging and satisfying throughout the game. If you're a fan of action games and looking for something different on the Nintendo Switch, Astral Chain is a must-have. Nier Automata offers a captivating blend of frenetic hack-and-slash action and a rich layered narrative. Set in a post-apocalyptic world, Nier Automata introduces us to 2B and Android from Yoar, tasked with eliminating hostile robots on Earth. Accompanied by the resourceful 9S, their partnership evolves amidst the game's deepening plot twists and emotional arcs. The combat system shines with its fluidity and depth. Players can seamlessly switch between different weapon styles, execute stunning combos, and utilize support from a versatile pod companion akin to Grimoire Weiss from the original Nier. The game's core strengths, its evocative soundtrack, unique characters, and thought-provoking themes, shine brightly, making it a must-play for fans of action RPGs. Nioh 2 is a fantastic sequel that builds on the original game with new combat nuances but balances these additions with challenging difficulty. The combat in Nioh 2 is phenomenal. One major addition is the use of yokai skills, which are abilities you can get from enemy soul cores. These add exciting loot drops and a variety of combat options. Some favorites include the Inky Spear Throw and Raiman Sukuna's Elemental Sword Spin. While these abilities are powerful, they leave you vulnerable to follow-up attacks. Another significant addition is burst counters, which are special parries against dangerous red aura attacks. There are 3 types: Brute, Feral, and Phantom, each with its strengths and suited to different situations. Bayonetta 2 exclusive to the Wii U and Nintendo Switch is a fantastic sequel that surpasses the original in both looks and gameplay. Right from the prologue, it's clear that this game looks and plays better than its predecessor and most other action games. Bayonetta's moves are more stylish, graceful, and precise, and the game is packed with incredible set pieces and challenging enemies. The game runs at a steady 60 frames per second, with no noticeable dips. You can dodge out of attacks mid-move and unlock fun new weapons like the Rakshasa Blades and Chernobog Scythe, each with unique combos and playstyles. Additionally, the game also offers an online co-op mode, providing short bursts of combat-focused gameplay.
Rusa! Leave everything to me.
Samurai Warriors 2 is my all-time favorite game in the Samurai Warriors franchise. This game shares similar mechanics with its Chinese counterpart, Dynasty Warriors 5, but is set in Japan's Sengoku Jidai period. Many sequels in Koei's Warriors series game delivers a familiar and hack-and-slash experience. In Samurai Warriors 2 you can play as 26 different warriors, although most of them are locked at the start. To unlock them, you need to play through various storylines. Each character's story is filled with dramatic cutscenes and pseudo-history lessons. However, the main focus is on fighting endless waves of enemies with simple combos, moving from one bland battlefield to another. Dante's Inferno is about Dante, a crusader fighting to save his fiancée, Beatrice, from hell after Lucifer steals her soul. Combat is similar to God of War, using a scythe for melee attacks and a cross for ranged attacks. Players can choose to punish or absolve enemies and historical figures for holy or unholy points. While the combat system seems deep, it's criticized for being too simple, with most enemies easily defeated through button mashing but still fun and engaging. Expect mature themes in the game, including torture, violence, and nudity, pushing the game's mature rating to its limits. Some elements seem included just for shock value, like monsters that attack with human genitalia. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance defies this trend with its challenging gameplay. The game's story, set 4 years after Guns of the Patriots in 2018, follows Raiden, a cyborg ninja, on a mission of revenge against Desperado Enterprises. This hack-and-slash game deviates from the traditional stealth action style of the Metal Gear Solid series, focusing instead on intense combat. Revengeance also immerses players in a fast-paced combat system where you can slice enemies with your lightning blade in any direction. In this game, you'll spend most of your time chaining combos, using special attacks, and trying to integrate defensive maneuvers. Darksiders 3 offers an interconnected world with minimal loading screens and Vulgrim locations acting as checkpoints. The game has a difficulty setting, making it more accessible compared to typical Souls-like games. The combat system is robust, with Fury starting with her whip and gaining additional elemental powers called Hollows, which add variety to her attacks and combos. Boss fights are a highlight, each presenting unique challenges and requiring players to learn movesets and patterns. The game encourages exploration and features puzzles that often relate to the latest Hollow obtained. The game's story doesn't require deep knowledge of previous games, making it accessible to newcomers.
Gotta break through!
Tales of Arise is an action RPG, the best game for me in Tales franchise. The game tells a gripping story centered around Alphen, a slave who can't feel pain, and Xion, a member of the slaver race who can't be touched without causing pain. Their relationship evolves from necessity to genuine friendship, and it's one of the highlights of the game. The combat in Arise feels like a mix of traditional Tales combat and action games like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta. The perfect dodge mechanic, special arts moves, and the ability to use all character skills at any time make battles thrilling and strategic. Each character has a unique skill to counter enemies, and you can use all 6 character skills in battle, even if only 4 are active at a time. Ghost of Tsushima, Director's Cut has made its highly anticipated debut on PC, bringing with it the acclaimed experience of one of PS5's standout exclusives. The game follows Jin Sakai, a samurai who must forsake his traditional code to save his homeland. The Iki Island expansion adds depth to Jin's story, blending seamlessly with the main plot and offering hours of extra content. The gameplay centers on a parry-centric combat system where mastering different stances and techniques becomes crucial as Jin faces various enemy types. The combat system is a perfect mix of elegant swordplay and stealth tactics. Players can choose the honorable path of a samurai or the stealthy approach of the ghost. Whether you missed it on PS5 or are revisiting it on a more powerful platform, this port is a must-have for any gaming enthusiast looking for a captivating adventure. Hades stands out as a vibrant roguelite dungeon crawler set in Greek mythology. You play as Zagreus, the son of Hades, aiming to escape the underworld through fast-paced hack-and-slash gameplay, battling various monsters armed with a sword and aided by divine boons from Greek gods, enhancing his abilities. The choice of boons influences gameplay, offering strategic depth as you decide between enhancing attacks, casting abilities, or defensive maneuvers. Outside combat, players collect currencies like darkness and keys to unlock upgrades and new weapons. Charon's shop provides further opportunities to strengthen Zagreus with purchasable buffs. Boss battles, like the encounter with Majira, add intensity to the journey, punctuated by witty dialogue and strategic gameplay.
No. I'm running out of time for Zagreus. That hurt.
But I couldn't figure out what they wanted.
Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge marks a new era for the series under Team Ninja. The game offers an intense action that introduces some fresh elements while staying true to its roots. The hack-in/essence of its predecessors like God of War and Devil May Cry game. One standout feature is its aggressive enemy AI, which keeps you on your toes with relentless attacks and pack tactics. The control scheme is straightforward with light and heavy attacks, jumping, and a dual-purpose dash/block maneuver crucial for defense and counterattacks. In this installment, health regenerates after battles, but gets shorter with each hit, rewarding skillful play. Ninpo abilities now heal you when hitting targets, encouraging more frequent use. However, some new mechanics like wall climbing and sliding are tricky to master due to sparse in-game. Sekiro, known as rhythmic combat hack-in/game that makes you frustrating if you are newcomers. Set in a fantasy version of Japan's Sengoku period, it follows Wolf, a shinobi on a quest to rescue his kidnapped lord, Kuro. Players explore an open world, engaging in intense third-person combat where timing and strategy are crucial. The game's unique mechanics include a prosthetic arm that can be equipped with various tools like shurikens and axes, offering diverse combat styles and customization options. Sekiro also have elements like stealth and a resurrection mechanic, adding layers of depth to its challenging gameplay. Despite comparisons to Dark Souls, Sekiro's innovative gameplay and rich storytelling make it a standout title in its own right, earning high praise and a dedicated fanbase. Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends Complete Edition brings the familiar hack-and-slash action of the series to new heights. Known for its massive battles set in ancient China, the game introduces weapon switching and elemental mechanics, adding depth to combat. Players can now strategize against tougher foes, including enemy officers equipped with the same skills. With 82 playable characters and a plethora of weapons, customization options abound. Special attacks and Muzu moves unique to each character enhance the battlefield experience, making engagements dynamic and engaging. Despite these flaws, Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends Complete Edition is hailed as the pinnacle of the franchise, offering immense value and polished gameplay.
Return after reviewing my strategy. Those who stand in the way of virtue shall fail.
Devil May Cry 5 delivers an action-packed adventure where players face off against demons in style. It showcases diverse combat mechanics through characters like Nioh, Dante, and V, each offering unique ways to battle foes. The focus remains on exhilarating combat encounters and a humorous, albeit over-the-top narrative. Players earn scores based on performance, aiming for high ranks with flashy combos and precise gameplay. Progression involves unlocking new abilities and managing resources like Nero's Devil Breaker arms, distributed via Nico's Devil May Cry van. It's a must-play for fans of action games, offering a compelling blend of challenge and style that keeps players engaged from start to finish.
I wonder if...
God of War Ragnarok is a standout title on the PS5, offering a mix of intense combat, engaging puzzles, and a richly developed world. The game stays faithful to its predecessor, maintaining familiar mechanics such as the Leviathan Axe and combat strategies involving elemental attacks and environmental interaction. Gameplay in Ragnarok is more streamlined compared to the previous installment, offering a more linear path to main objectives with expansive areas for side quests once milestones are met. Puzzles are plentiful and satisfying, though early stages may feel overly packed with mechanical tasks. However, it introduces new challenges by resetting magic and gear progression, which might frustrate players expecting continuity in their power from the previous game. And for the bonus, Shadow of Mordor remains a timeless favorite thanks to its groundbreaking Nemesis system. This unique feature allows players to forge personal rivalries with orc captains in the game world. Even years later, these vendettas still feel engaging and novel. The combat in Shadow of Mordor blends straightforward swordplay with strategic elements like parrying and executions. However, facing hordes of orcs can sometimes feel overwhelming. Players can evolve their combat skills by unlocking new abilities such as parrying and executions, which add depth to the gameplay. From ambushing orc captains to navigating intense enemy encounters, Shadow of Mordor offers exhilarating strategic moments that keep players hooked.
You can't take us all, talk!
And that's it for today. What do you think about this list? I know there are best hack-and-slash games out there that I haven't mentioned yet. Please share your favorite best hack-and-slash games that you think deserve a spot here. Don't forget to like this video, and make sure you subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss another great list. And as always, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.